So letting your body settle into a shape that feels comfortable for sitting. Maybe a few shoulder rolls as you let yourself arrive. Taking a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and letting them fall out your mouth. With each of these exhales, any worries or tension that might have come in to your practice space with you, you can let those exhales carry them away. Letting your breathing come back to its normal pace. Feeling the sensation of the breath moving in and moving out. Maybe your eyes gently close. Maybe your gaze goes soft a few feet in front of your body. Letting your arms relax, hands resting softly, maybe on your knees or in your lap. And your exhales, relaxing the shoulders, letting the knees soften down toward the earth. Feeling your belly softening as you breathe. Feeling the space around your heart expanding as you inhale. And letting lightness move into that space with that air that you breathe in. Loading your heart upward, helping your spine to lengthen up toward the sky through the crown of your head. And just taking a moment to check in with your physical body, noticing how it's feeling today. Noticing what parts of you are ready for challenge and where you might need extra support. And welcoming all those parts, wherever they are, however they're showing up. Knowing that anywhere that's struggling or needs extra support is worthy of that support. It deserves more love rather than less. And seeing if there might be a little extra love somewhere that you can send into the places that need it most. Letting the hands and the fingers begin to move gently wherever they are on the body, feeling their touch. Feeling that energy awakening in the hands. Feeling the difference in temperature where the hands are touching. And letting your next inhale, lift the hands, lift the arms, reaching them up and out, stretching through the heart space up toward the sky. Shoulders squeezing together on the back of the body. And then as you exhale, letting the spine curve, arms wrapping round, giving yourself a squeeze. And when you're ready, lifting, opening back up, letting your body open and round with the pace of your breath. Letting your focus be on that inhale as it's happening, as you're opening up and stretching. And as your exhale, focus absorbed by the movement and the breath that's happening in this moment. Hearing the sound of your breathing, the sound of your clothes rustling as you move. Feeling the gentle touch of the air as your fingers pass through it. And the next time your arms open wide, you can let them lift up even higher, fingers reaching out and up. As you exhale, coming gently down into a twist, whatever side feels natural. Letting your inhale lengthen the crown of your head up toward the sky. Maybe exhale takes that twist a little bit deeper. Maybe you look over your shoulder. Breathing down into the belly as you twist. Good. And your next inhale can lift your arms, spinning you slowly back through your center. Exhaling down to the other side. Reaching up tall as you breathe in. Maybe twisting deeper as you breathe out. Good. Your next inhale can lift you up again, reaching up as you come back to center. As you exhale, arms reach out to the sides, feeling the shoulders, arms, everything working together, slowly floating down. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. The fingertips on the left hand can reach down into the earth as you lift the right arm up with your inhale, bringing it over to the opposite ear and letting your head press into the hand as the bottom hand reaches down, feeling that releasing through the neck and the shoulder. Breathing into the sensation in the left side of your body. Good. Your next inhale can lift the right hand up, reaching out as you bring it slowly down. Right fingertips growing roots once they're in contact with the earth. Your inhale, floating the left hand up. Coming over to the other side now, that right ear pressing into the hand. Right hand reaching down, breathing into the neck and the shoulder on the right side of your body. Letting any stress or tension flow down the arm, out the fingers. Good. Your inhale can lift the left hand up, reaching out, floating slowly down. And then putting just a little more weight into the hips, the back of the body, bringing hands in front, tiptoeing them away as you lift your heart upward, breathing into the backs of the hips. Good. And the hands can walk back into the body, bringing them behind and letting your legs stretch out now, feeling that release of energy down to the feet, lifting the heart, squeezing shoulder blades together, letting the toes and the feet and the ankles move. Maybe lifting the face up to the sky as well. And then you can bring the legs back in just for a moment, crossing the opposite leg in front. If you can't remember, it's probably the one that you don't put automatically. And then the fingertips can come out in front again, walking forward, lifting the heart. And just a slightly different stretch into the backs of the hips, emphasizing the other side. Deep, slow breathing, feeling it soak down into the belly, softening. Good. When you're ready, you can walk the fingers back up. And we'll make our way onto hands and knees. If you've got a blanket handy, you can place that under your knees. And we'll bring the knees out a bit wider, coming into child's pose. You can have your toes together. Hips can either come down to the heels or stay lifted if that feels better for your knees. Reaching the arms forward, letting the forehead rest down onto the ground. Maybe giving the head a gentle rocking side to side, or maybe even in little oval shapes. Massaging the forehead on the ground. Taking a cleansing breath here, in through your nose, falling out your mouth. You might feel your body naturally softening as that breath releases. When you're breathing in next time, walking the fingers over to the left side, stacking the right hand on top of the left, and taking a deep breath into the right side ribs. Good. When you're ready, slowly coming back through your center, over to the other side, stacking left hand on top of right now, breathing into the left side ribs, feeling them become spacious and open. Coming back to your center. Maybe the fingertips are able to tiptoe another inch away. Maybe you'd like to deepen this stretch into the shoulders by bending the elbows and placing the hands behind the head. Elbows are bent. You can release the hands back down now, slowly rounding up to hands and knees with an inhale. Letting your exhale fall out your mouth. Tucking your toes under, letting your hips lift slowly up to the sky, walking the heels up and down. Maybe giving your head a little shake at the end of the spine, loosening. And when you're ready for a break, you can bring the knees back down into hands and knees, giving the feet a few taps on the floor, rolling the ankles. And then you can come to a comfortable seat again. You might be kneeling with some blocks or blankets in between the knees and the calves. Or if that isn't going to be comfortable for your knees, then you can come up to high kneeling. The way you're sitting isn't the important part of this next thing. And I forgot to say something about a strap. So if you've got a bathrobe sash or something, a belt that you can use, you can grab that. I am going to use a pair of Callum's pajamas that I've been meaning to take the little diaper thing out with my sewing machine. So I'm going to hold on to that, and it might hit me in the head. So you can hold on to your item of choice. So you can let yourself settle into that kneeling or otherwise seat, holding on to your strap, letting the rib cage move in. And then as you're inhaling, lifting, noticing where your range of motion feels comfortable. Maybe you stop here, depending on the length of what you're using. Maybe it comes down behind you if you've got that space available. Maybe just simply going.
I'm a belt.
Imagining that there are maybe bubbles helping you float up as you breathe in. Float down as you breathe out. And if there's anywhere that feels really good to your body, you can just go back and forth right there, just like scratching an itch. And the next time you find your arms up at the top, change to a side-to-side motion, opening the rib cage, lifting up with the inhale, and then slowly lowering down, stretching to the side with the exhale. Next time you're up at the top, your exhale can bring it back down. And just letting the hands and the wrists take a break. Squeezing them, making any shapes that feel good. Letting the fingers come together, wave motion. And a good shake out. So we can lift back up if you're not already in a higher kneeling situation. Coming back to hands and knees. And then tucking your toes under, lifting your hips up for downward dog. Pressing the ground away from you through the hands. And then looking between the hands, slow motion walk up to the front of your mat. Letting the feet come out to the edges of the mat, or maybe even a little wider. Knees nice and soft. The head can just hang heavy, the arms can hang down. Or if you'd like some gentle traction, you could cross the arms, taking hold of the elbows, or even interlacing the fingers and letting them hook behind the ears, the hands and the wrists behind the head. Slow, smooth breaths in and out through your nose. And then with your next inhale, gently beginning to rise up to standing, taking as many breaths as you need to get to the top. Take your time. And a few more shoulder rolls once you're there. Oops. There's a happy medium right there. Good. So we'll come into mountain pose, lifting the toes and spreading them wide. The feet are right underneath the hips. Lifting each heel back. So you've got a nice, big, strong foundation, nice and stable. Exhaling the roots down into the earth. Inhaling strength into the legs. Feeling the muscles working. Exhale, engages your core, drawing the belly button in. Inhale, lifting the heart upward. And then an exhale, softening the shoulders all the way down the arms to fingertips. Bringing the tongue up to the roof of the mouth, pressing the tip of the tongue behind your teeth. And letting the exhale drop the tongue down, releasing your jaw. Let your knees soften a little bit. Your next inhale scoops arms up toward the sky. Taking hold of the right wrist, oops, can't quite see it, reaching over to the left as your right foot moves downward. Good. Next inhale, lifting you back up to center, changing hands, reaching over to the other side. Good. Next inhale, bringing you back up. Slight back bend at the top, and then as you exhale, letting arms spread open wide as you slowly dive forward, just halfway down. Let your knees soften again. Exhale brings the arms forward beside your ears, like you're holding a big beach ball over your head. And then exhale, after your next inhale, exhale, lowering down. Shaking the head out, letting the arms be loose, dangling like seaweed in the ocean. Maybe letting them sway gently. You can take your feet out a little wider if you like. Softening the knees. Your next inhale, slowly lifting back up. Head comes up last. And a few more shoulder rolls when you get up to the top. Good. We can place hands onto hips, taking the feet out even wider. So if you're on your mat, facing the narrow side, you can turn 90 degrees. And we'll move the left foot so it's pointing toward the narrow side of your mat. The right foot is just going to shift the heel back a little bit so that it's at a 30-degree angle to the long edge of your mat. Keeping your heart and your hips facing toward me. Good. And then as you exhale, tracking the knee right over the foot, stopping behind or just above the ankle. Coming into warrior two. You can lift the arms up with an inhale, reaching out through all 10 fingers, both directions. Deep breath in and letting it go. Next inhale, you can float the arms up, straightening the legs, letting it take a little break. As you exhale, you might find that you're able to go a tiny bit deeper, widening your stance a little bit to make sure your knee stays in alignment with your ankle. And letting the right hand come down to the right leg, reaching up with the left arm. Stretching up, breathing into the left side ribs. Exhale can bring the elbow down to the left knee, sweeping the right arm overhead. Bring it into cactus first to spin your heart upward. And maybe reaching out, long stretch. Good. Next, inhale, that top arm helps you lift back up into warrior two, stretching out through all 10 fingers, lifting the heart up. Good. Next, inhale, arms come up to the sky, straightening the leg, and then we're gonna pivot the feet as you exhale, coming down to the other side. Warrior two, with the right foot pointing forward, left foot at a 30-degree angle, hips and heart facing toward me. Good. Next, inhale, floating up, give your legs a break. Exhale, coming down, maybe a tiny bit deeper. Good. Left hand coming down, the left leg, inhaling, right arm up, stretching through right side ribs. And exhale, right elbow coming to right knee. Left arm sweeping overhead into cactus. And then maybe reaching out, long stretch. Good. Your next inhale, floating you back up to warrior two. Good. Next inhale, bringing arms together, straightening the legs, and bringing the hands back onto the hips. Give it a little shake out, feeling that challenge that you just managed to get all the way through. So you can take the toes slightly in and the heels slightly out. Lifting the heart up. Letting shoulders relax down. Good. Next inhale lifts you up even more. As you exhale, hinging from your hips, heart leading the way, the hands can drop down toward the ground, maybe touching with the fingertips. You can feel yourself really curving here. You might take a blanket or a block or a stack of books to make the floor a little closer. Letting the crown of your head reach out and forward, and both hip bones, both sitting bones reaching back, spine lengthening in both directions. And then placing the right hand at the center, lifting the left arm up to the hip, the sacrum, or the sky. And your exhale can bring that hand back to center. Inhale, bringing the right hand up. Next, exhale, you can bring the right hand down. Both hands at center, lifting the heart forward between your biceps. And then exhale, bending the elbows, letting your knees soften as the head moves down toward the ground. Just let the whole top half of your body go as soft as you can. Walking the fingertips over to the left side, saying hello to your left toes. And then slowly making your way back through center over to the right side, saying hello to your right toes. Coming back to center again. Can heel toe the feet in a little bit closer so the toes are pointing out now. And your inhale, rounding you back up to standing. Once you're up there, you can take some more shoulder rolls if you like. I don't feel that you could have too many shoulder rolls. It's a place where a lot of people store tension. Bringing the hands onto the hips and walking the feet out just a little bit wider and come down into a squat, not going too low, just into a place where it's comfortable. And then inhaling the arms into a strong shape. Maybe you sink down a tiny bit lower if you'd like challenge. And then as you inhale, lifting up, reaching arms out, coming into a 5-pointed star, the fingers extending, feeling your body become in the most spacious shape it can be. And then an exhale can bring you back down into that strong shape. Good. Let your body pulse as you'd like, lifting up, reaching out, becoming big. And exhaling into your strong shape. Moving at your own pace. The whole body expanding and condensing, just like the lungs do when we breathe. The next time as you reach out, you can stay there for an extra breath. And then letting the next exhale float arms down. Maybe the hands make some shapes, the arms make some shapes that release tension on the way. Letting the feet make their way back in. Hands coming to rest on the hips. Coming back to your mountain pose, feeling that extra weight of the hands on hips, connecting you with the ground underneath you. Welcoming the embrace of gravity. Next, inhale, floating the arms up to the sky, slight back bend at the top. Exhale, dives forward. Letting the head hang heavy, softly swaying if movement would feel nice. Letting the fingers graze the ground. And keeping your head low, you can turn 90 degrees so you're facing the long edge of your mat again. Bringing the hands down to the ground, slowly walking the feet back into downward facing dog. Heels lifting and lowering, stretching the backs of the legs. And when you're ready, bringing the knees down to the ground just for a moment, and moving down onto your belly. Your elbows can move under your shoulders, fingers spread wide, palms of the hands on the ground, legs right close together, pressing them down into the earth from the tips of the toes all the way to the pelvis. Your heart lifting forward. Shoulders moving back. Breath moving the belly against the ground. And your next exhale can release you down, hands stacking, supporting your head as you turn your face to the side, maybe bending the knees and letting your feet sway. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, letting your body soften as you release the breath out your mouth. Letting the feet slowly fall back down to earth. And whichever way your face is turned, that leg can slide up into half frog along the floor, the inside of the arch, inside of the leg, connecting with the ground, releasing effort with each exhale. Maybe you can feel your heart as it beats, feeling it beating against the earth. And with as little effort as possible, just turning the top half of the body, letting the lower half, the legs and the hips stay just as they are, as close to how they were as before. Just gentle twist. Like you can bring a blanket under the knee for extra support. Just being mindful of what feels good right now. You might let your head gently rock, keeping the neck nice and loose. If you'd like to add some movement, you can slowly flow the arm closed as you breathe out, opening back up to the sky as you breathe in. Your next exhale can slowly roll you back onto your belly. Letting the face turn so that the forehead is resting on the hands now. And taking 3 cleansing breaths here, in through your nose, out your mouth. And once you've finished those 3 cleansing breaths, turning your face to the other side and sliding the other leg up into half frog. And letting each exhale soften you down. Feeling the breath moving your body against the floor. And taking it as slowly and as easily as possible, rolling the top half of your body into a twist, bringing in any support that might make this even more comfortable. And letting the head gently rock. You might decide to let your arm move, right arm coming back over to the left as you exhale. Floating back open, heart to the sky as you inhale. And the next time you inhale, you can roll slowly onto your back, making your way back to the center of your mat. Letting the knees bend, and sliding the hands to the knees, bringing the knees in toward your body, giving yourself a hug, squeezing them in as tightly or as softly as you'd like. Maybe a gentle rocking here, massaging the back and the hips on the ground. And if you'd like to deepen this stretch into the hips, hands can slide to feet, bringing the knees in toward the underarms for happy baby, letting your shoulders and your tailbone soften downward. Maybe giving yourself a little foot massage while your hands are there. And the warmth of your hands around your toes. You can release the hands from the feet, letting them straighten up toward the sky, pressing the heels up to the sky and flexing the feet, spreading toes. Your hands can come down beside your hips to help support you. Pressing the tailbone down into the ground as the feet press upward, legs lengthening down and up at the same time. Deep breath in when you're ready and letting it go. Let your legs soften, knees bend, feet coming slowly back down to earth. And as your feet land, they can come out to the edges of your mat, letting your knees fall against each other, supporting each other, letting each other rest. Deep breath in and out here. And if it feels right, just letting the knees drift side to side, that windshield wiper motion. You could imagine tree branches swaying in the breeze, slowly side to side. Your next inhale can bring them back to center, and then letting the knees come out to the side, feet sliding together so the soles of the feet are touching. Blankets or cushions you'd like to place underneath the knees or the hips for support, you can do that. Letting the hands rest on the body, feeling your breath, changing your shape. You might find that this is a comfortable shape for you to stay in as we move into Shavasana, or if you'd like to move to a different shape that you find more relaxing, you can do that. Like to place warmer layers on, it's a good time. Cover up with a blanket, get cozy. Letting your body settle in slowly to this relaxing space. And letting the awareness in your body come to rest somewhere where it feels comfortable. No wrong or right answer here. Wherever you see the brightness the most inside. And seeing that brightness, the shapes and the colors that happen behind your eyes when your gaze moves inward. Letting each breath make it a little bit brighter on the inhale, a little bit dimmer on the exhale. And letting that brightness begin to expand from wherever it's resting. A little light that can heal, can move it anywhere you like in your body or in your mind. Gentle glow, soothing and softening, embracing the shadows with love. And helping them to soften. And slowly beginning to deepen your breath. Welcoming your awareness back into your body from wherever it may have traveled. Letting that glow, that light within you, move down with your breath to your fingers and your toes. Tiny, gentle movements, seeing them dance like fireflies. Letting that movement gradually expand toward the center of your body, your wrists, your ankles, slowly beginning to move. And moving inward again into the elbows, the knees, the shoulders and the hips. Maybe letting the arms move overhead for a long stretch. And when you feel ready, letting your body curl up into that beautiful little seed shape. Snug and spiraled up and safe. And before making any more movements, I've got a little poem to share. To be of the earth is to know the restlessness of being a seed, the darkness of being planted, the struggle toward the light, the pain of growth into the light, the joy of bursting and bearing fruit, the love of being food for someone, the scattering of your seeds, the decay of the seasons, the mystery of death, and the miracle of birth. So beginning to rebirth yourself from this seed shape, slowly beginning that movement toward the light, letting your body begin to rise up using the strength of your arms, making your way slowly to seated. Letting the eyes softly flutter open, letting the light back in from the exterior. And letting the hands come together in front of the heart, pressing palms together and fingers all the way to the fingertips. And then keeping the pinky finger and the thumb pressing together, letting the other 6 fingers open up into a flower shape. And if you have an intention or a wish that springs easily to mind, you can let it go to rest inside the center of that flower. And letting it grow up to the sky, sending it out into the universe with a promise that it will be nourished. And bringing it back into your heart, sealing it in. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today.